Most Darwinists proclaim that evolution took place by a series of millions of mutations. But mutations are always a subtraction of information from an organism's complete set of DNA or genome. Mutations are genetic accidents. Down syndrome is just one example. Mutations are a loss of information within the DNA of an organism or creature. And the more information that is lost, the more harmful it can be to the living creature or organism. Now, some mutations appear to be harmless, and others are harmful or even lethal. But mutations are supposed to be the so-called vehicle for evolution. However, how can living things consistently improve by always getting worse through degrading of the DNA? Or another way of saying it is, how can there be an increase in information in the organism by always subtracting information via the mutations? But, you may ask, aren't mutations beneficial for an organism or creature sometimes? And the answer is yes. It is true that mutations can result in improvements for an organism in certain situations. Certain bacterium, for instance, improve their chance of survival for an antibiotic through mutations. Or a mutation removing pigmentation in a bear can result in a white polar bear. And this is a real advantage in the snow. But these mutations are still a result of loss of information. Some evolutionists attempt to use the example of mutations of bacteria as an example of good mutations. But these examples appear to have serious flaws with them. Let's take a look at the mutation of bacteria. These mutations are bacteria that are lacking information that their normal counterparts still possess. The mutation, or missing information, allows the bacteria to survive while exposed to antibiotics, for instance. But they die off faster than the normal bacteria once they are put back into the normal population of that same type of bacteria. Even though there is a temporary benefit, this mutation is still at an overall disadvantage in normal situations. And so, mutations cannot be the vehicle for evolution, because the vehicle is headed in the opposite direction that would be necessary for the theory to be possible. A person may have a mutation that causes blindness, for instance. Now, this blindness can cause higher perception and sensitivity with other senses. This person may be able to smell smoke from a fire in a house before anyone else. This may even save lives. But how many would want to be blind because this scenario, or one similar, may take place? Dr. Grasset said, and I quote, "No matter how numerous they may be, mutations do not produce any kind of evolution." The opportune appearance of mutations permitting animals and plants to meet their needs seems hard to believe. Yet, he continues, the Darwinian theory is even more demanding. A single plant or a single animal would require thousands and thousands of lucky, appropriate events. Thus, miracles would become the rule. Events with infinitesimal probability could no longer fail to occur. And then he finishes with this: "There is no law against daydreaming, but science must not indulge in it." End of quote. And so we come back to that word that disproves evolution: miracles. The addition of useful information to form new and unique kinds of creatures would be an incredible miracle. And these impossible miracles are not allowed by evolutionists' own admission. Scientist Warren Weaver put it this way, quote, "Many will be puzzled about the statement that practically all known mutant genes are harmful. For mutations are a necessary part of the process of evolution. How can a good effect, evolution to higher forms of life, result from mutations practically all of which are harmful?" End of quote. This one fact alone appears to make the entire theory scientifically impossible.